Hi, my name is Clinton Erling, and I'm the president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Chamber's Business Review is an informative weekly television magazine of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We will showcase the activities of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, feature interviews of prominent business personalities, and broadcast our popular training seminars for the entire country's benefit. So please sit back and enjoy while we indulge your attention over the next half an hour.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here and a privilege to have at this launch the Ambassador and Mr. Erling, and also a pleasure to see people from the employment sector and other guests. Very briefly, the project that this job bank is part of is working with young people, as it has been said, between the ages of 15 to 24, principally young men, but also young women. We don't exclude young women. These people are at risk of engaging in activities which are considered antisocial, violent, criminal in some cases. The project works with these young people to allow them to basically unlock the potential that they have, the potential for realizing their ambitions, the potential for earning an honest living, the potential for helping themselves, their families, their parents, their communities, and ultimately the country of Guyana. It's a great task. It's an onerous task. It's a privilege to be working, though, with people who see in themselves the future that they have. Young people who are sometimes from very underprivileged parts of the community. Some young people who have never really benefited fully from the educational system. And yet they are ambitious, and yet they are concerned with the future, and they demonstrate all the qualities of a prosperous Guyana. Many of the people that we work with are not particularly good at reading and writing. I'm not using the technical jargon, but that's what they're not particularly good at. And that is very important. We work, that is the project, works with these young people and helps them to become literate, at least functionally literate. We'll be working with the Adult Education Association in that context. We're also engaging these young people in a work readiness preparedness program, which does involve literacy elements and is going to be implemented for us by this Gcci Scott's organization, Volunteer Youth Corps. We're looking forward to that. Hopefully it's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. As we speak, at the Critchlow Labour College, we have 20 or so individuals who are undergoing a training of trainers for that part of the course. The young people who will be benefiting, hopefully, from this job bank, from this job bank, are precisely those that really are not particularly well equipped to do job searches through the traditional ways and means. They are not always the most articulate verbally. They're not most likely to be buying newspapers and searching job ads. So this particular 21st century electronic access to information or to means of presenting themselves to potential employers is very, very important. It's the beginning also for employers to have the opportunity of surveying and evaluating young individuals who they may wish to invite for an interview and hopefully provide them with meaningful long-term employment. So that's the hope for the job bank. It was a very impressive and productive collaboration that we had with the Chamber, for which we're very grateful to Mr. Erling and to his staff. It was very constructive because we were both working towards the satisfaction of a very important goal, that is getting young people into work in the most efficient, effective and expedient way. So I won't say much more about this because those are the essentials of what is about this. So I hope and I know that this will be successful. It will be a rocky start. Not necessarily a rocky start, but it will be a challenging start. as we know, other rollouts recently in other countries have also created a few challenges of electronic media. So without further ado, I will finish. Thank you for your attention to my little speech. And since Alana is busy, if I may I introduce Mr. Clinton Erling, who is the president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
I got a quote from someone who was just recently elected senator of New Jersey, representing the state of New Jersey in the United States, Senator Cory Booker. I'm a big fan of Mr. Cory Booker. You guys maybe should check him out on Facebook. At the same time, you can check my Facebook out too. And today, Cory has a quote. Every day he put these quotes up. And his quote today says, "Help someone today. The biggest thing you can do today is likely a small act of kindness or generosity." And I believe personally, the ideal which each and every one of us in this room here this morning, we should or we can ascribe to as we live our everyday and express our everyday truth, is to make someone else's life better. And when I heard that the Skye, I used to call it the Skype program, but people are always correcting me, it's not Skype, it's Skye program. So when I heard that the Skye program had an ambitious goal, and the goal was to cater for 600 at-risk youths, and at-risk meaning youths who were right in trouble with the law, who came from difficult economic circumstances, had a difficult background. And to see a project attempting such grandiose, or have such grandiose aspirations, trying to help 600 students, I think there's no noble a cause than the Skye project. And with that, it's easy for me, it was easy for me to be a part of the program, and it's also, or it has been easy for the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and our members to be a part of the Skye program, which we're deeply honored to do. The private sector involvement, I was involved in this program even before it was launched. I remember Alana, Ms. Brasington, invited me to even interview coaches before we even got started. I don't know if a few of you are in the room this morning. And continued until we launched the program, and there was a Skye advisory, there's an employment advisory group, which the private sector has a permanent role in terms of advising the project and ensuring that the private sector is involved in the project. Similarly, I've attended many graduations of the program. I've given speeches to some of the graduates from these programs. And moreover, as an employer, as a business owner, I've also been a part of not just facilitating and supporting the program, but I've been a client of the program. You know, it had those commercials with the guy with the balding. I'm not just the president, but I'm a client. It's the German's restaurant was a client, and we've hired, I think, about 4 or 5 of the students from the program. And I don't do any of the hiring of Germans. And I don't do the reviews now. I'm taken up with a lot of other stuff that the Chamber of Commerce, my time. But the feedback from, not me, and this is very objective, coming from the folks at German's restaurant, is that the best group of workers we've had has been those coming out from the Skye program. And I'm also happy to report that even today, we've still, I think they're all still on the job. I don't think we've lost any. I'm not sure, I need to check. But I know the reviews coming from my folks is very positive. And as a matter of fact, we've made the decision that, look, if we're going to hire, we used to just put an ad out in the papers, and then we'd get 100 people showing up for one position. We've taken the decision to go to the Skye project to look for persons who are looking for employment. And that's part of the genesis of this entire project for us. That's how this website initiative came around. Because for me, I wanted, instead of me having to write Alana, or I remember in the past we used to circulate, there was a list, and Alana would send it to the secretary of the chamber and say, look, send this to your members. And I saw it once and you never saw it back, or you saw it back another month later or 2. But you really paid no attention to it. And it got lost somewhere. And instead of having to write you all the time, we said, look, we have our website. It's a very modern and it's an up-to-date website. So we said, let's put the profiles of the students of the program on the website. And so there's a permanent fixed place that our members in the private sector would know that, look, if we're looking for employment and we're looking for kids who don't just coming out or coming into the workforce, these are kids coming into the workforce with a basic understanding of what employers expect from them. The program is comprehensive because, again, it involved, the entire setting up of the program involved private sector consultations. There was big research done. And from that research, they've been able to tailor the program to say, look, these are the important elements that private sector employers look for. And once you guys go on the job and you ensure that you maintain most of these attributes, you should be okay, you should be fine. And so far, based on my personal experience, I'm proud of the program, and I'm happy to say that it's working. And I hope to see as we go forward. One of the things, I think I checked the website about a week ago, and I think I saw about 40 profiles on it. So as we go forward, I hope to see that profile increase. And also, this is just the start for the Chamber of Commerce. We wanted to launch it so our members would know it's available nationally. But we were also going to do some follow-up in terms of our own internal PR, in terms of getting our members to know. Go on our website, and there's a list of employees who is, for me, the most important, not resource for Guyana's development. It's the most important constituents or the most important element of any business. Without employees, there's no business. Business don't work. Business don't suffice. So it's very important for us in the private sector, and over the years, we've all been complaining. Our number one complaint, based on some of our own research, it's hard to find talent coming out from the employee pool in Guyana. So this program helps tremendously in making it easier for us, because you guys have done the groundwork in terms of saving us valuable time in terms of having to train folks about some of the basic etiquettes that is expected when you get into business. With that being said, I don't want to be prolix. I'll leave that for the ambassador. He's very eloquent and more eloquent than me. So I'll close this morning by wishing the program much success, and I hope that in the next coming years, the Georgetown, I know that the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry will remain a partner with USAID on this project. Thank you very much.
President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, good friend Clinton Erling, Dr. Jan Karpowitz, our extraordinary chief of party here for the Skye program, members of the private sector who are here, coaches, any of the Skye graduates, and of course the members of the media. Thank you all for coming by this morning. I'm really pleased to be able to be here to participate in this launch of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry's new job bank. This innovative collaboration between USAID's Skills and Knowledge for Youth Employment, or Skye project as we all fondly know it, and the Georgetown Chamber will provide a new way to link work-ready young men and women with potential employers, a vital element in supporting the development of and opportunity for Guyana's young people. The young men and women who will participate in the new job bank have already received extensive training, coaching, and mentoring thanks to many of the dedicated Skye team, USAID staff and volunteers, and they are eager to put into practice the new life and the work skills that they have gained, skills which were, as Clinton mentioned, identified by the private sector as essential for success during the extensive consultations that we had with the private sector as we were getting this program up and off the ground. These skills that they've been trained on and developed will enable them to be healthy, productive members of the working community as they enter the world of paid employment. So as we launch this new job bank, I just want to reiterate my gratitude to the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and particularly to President Clinton Erling for their leadership in this initiative. And I have to say, from the outset, one of the real strengths of the Skye program has been the engagement we have been able to develop and foster with the private sector, and particularly with the Georgetown Chamber, where we've had many private sector elements, and I think I've heard of other similar programs, but what's distinguished Skye has been the engagement of the private sector, their willingness to work with us. And that's been critical, because it's one thing to be able to train young people, but unless you can immediately put that training to use and start to develop those skills, the benefit of the training can disappear, and of course you haven't succeeded in your goal, which is to make sure young people have opportunity going forward. So again, many thanks to the private sector and to the Georgetown Chamber. Their willingness to host a job bank on the Chamber's website and to help market it to the private sector, as Clinton has just so eloquently done, will be critical to the success of the Skye program. And this is yet another demonstration of the ongoing commitment to develop the next generation of Guyana's leaders. Allowing employers to match available work-ready personnel with existing vacancies in a one-stop kind of electronic shop will produce mutual benefits both for young people and for the private sector, very importantly for the private sector, so that you can get people more quickly and an already proven set of young people. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Dr. Karpowitz and all of the Skye team who have done such an outstanding job developing these young people. I've seen firsthand. I had one opportunity. I've been to a number of graduations, but in one chance in Berbice, I went to the initial opening session with the young people going into the program, and then I promised them if they did well, I'd go to their graduation, and I did go. And it was really quite stunning to see the change, the transformation in the young people from sometimes reticent, little shy in some cases, and unsure of themselves, to confident people who would just walk in the door, put out their hand and say, you know, I'm the person that you should hire for this job. And I think that kind of ability, that self-confidence is what's so critical as people get into the working world, knowing that they have the talent and the skills to contribute. So, you know, great job to all of you. We've already trained, I understand, about 848 young people since the start of the program, which is tremendous, and many of these have gone on to find good jobs, and certainly I support Clinton's call to make sure that we get even more of the young people on the website so that employers can reach out quickly and easily to them. But from the initial launch of the Skye program until now, the private sector has remained a vital partner in supporting and creating new opportunities for Guyana's young people. The private sector associations, such as the Chamber, as well as individual private sector companies, have repeatedly proposed and helped implement innovative ideas to our program to help expand opportunities for Guyana's young people. And I'd certainly, again, like to reiterate our thanks to the private sector for its partnership and its commitment to the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. Absent strong and vibrant local, public, and private sector leadership, the achievements that we've made so far under the Skye program just wouldn't have been possible. The continued engagement of local partners in both public and private sector will remain central to ensuring the viability of our Skye model. It's certainly our hope that long after the formal conclusion of the Skye project, the initiatives that it has launched to empower and to create opportunities for Guyana's young people will endure and continue to benefit the country and the economy. I'm pleased to join today in the launching of this new job bank partnership between USAID and the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I certainly wish those of you who are involved in this initiative every success. I'm confident that the innovative concept that we have developed here will help to accelerate the efforts to match these outstanding young people to private sector employers with work-ready skills. So with that charge, let's go forward and make sure that the opportunities are there for the young people of today. Thank you very much, and good luck.